Hi, my name is Amanda Rocha. I am an estate planning and probate attorney in California, and today I'm going to give you the 30,000 foot view of the probate process. This is going to be much more detailed than my What is Probate podcast and video and blog post. So, before I get into all of those details, I want to give you my contact information so you can reach out if you need to talk to me about probate or estate planning. My website is www.amandarocalaw.com. You can find me on social media at Amanda Rocha Law, or you can comment down below if this platform allows you to do that. So the reason I'm going to get into this today is because oftentimes people understand what probate is, but they just don't understand how it works. And you could buy a book on it, or you can do a bunch of Google searching. It's usually hard to piece together, and I'm going to attempt to give you a quick rundown of what the steps are from a bird's eye view. So first, when someone passes away, you're going to have to get the death certificate in order and determine whether or not that person had a will. If they had a will, then that will need to be submitted to the court by the personal representative named in the will if the personal representative chooses to act. If they don't, then the person who wants to be the personal representative will file the will with the court. If there is no will, then there'll have to be a determination as to whether or not probate is even necessary based on whether or not the decedent, the person who passed away, whether their estate reaches the threshold, which is currently $166,250. There are items that are included in that threshold and items that are not, and I've discussed this at length in the past. So if the threshold is met, whether or not there's a will, then a petition for probate will need to be filed at the probate court. Once that petition is filed and the fee is paid, which is currently $435, then a judge will issue letters which will basically state that the personal representative or the executor, whatever you want to call them, is now going to begin the probate process. And these letters allow them to collect items such as bank accounts, inventory, and anything else that the person owned, all of their property. They'll make an inventory and appraisal sheet and submit that to the court for accounting. Through this process, they have to notify creditors via a newspaper listing, wait several months for them to react if they're going to, and sell their property if need be, and basically wrap up all loose ends, attempt to collect debts owed to them at that time. And during the probate process, creditors will be paid if that's determined that they need to be paid. And the executor / personal representative has a lot of freedom to really do this without a lot of court oversight. And that is why oftentimes a probate attorney is going to be hired to help you through this process, because it is not very easy to figure out on your own. And so we'll talk about costs in a few minutes, but you could potentially have the executor / personal representative, the probate attorney, and you'll definitely need to have an appraiser that is appointed by the court, and they're paid as well. So those three people working together to get probate completed, and once everything has been sorted out as far as creditors and debtors, then they can file the personal representative can file a document to basically wrap up probate. And once that's done, then that petition will be signed, and that there'll be an order saying that probate is over. So all the property would have then been disseminated as to where it needed to go. Prior to that, though, people have to get paid. And so the executor and the attorney and the appraiser all have statutory fees. So first of all, the appraiser will get paid a minimum of $75 up to $10,000, and their payment is actually going to be it's like 1/10 of 1% of the amount of property they have to appraise, something like that. For the exact amount, check the court's probate website, but their statutory fee, it's also statutory fees for the probate attorney and statutory fees for the personal representative. They get paid the exact same amount based on the amount of the probate property. Then the property will be, whatever's left over will be given to the heirs or whoever was in the will. Now this could take 18 months, and typically in California it does take 16 to 18 months. That's not considering the pandemic and courts putting things on hold and everything like that. Probate can last many years and cost a lot of money. And if it drags on and there is anything above and beyond that needs to be done, oftentimes attorneys will request extraordinary fees on top of what they're already owed. So it's expensive, it's long, it's complicated. It is something that I recommend avoiding, which is why we have estate planning. There are strategies that you can use to avoid having to have your estate go through probate and pay all of these unnecessary fees so that your property can be given to the people of your choice without dealing with any of this. So if you have any questions about probate or avoiding probate, give me a call, write me a message on my social media, or you can schedule oh my gosh, I'm having trouble talking today. You get to see that I don't edit any of this. You can schedule an appointment right on my website through my contact page. So my website is www.amandarochala.com. You can comment down below, or you can send me a direct message on social media at Amanda Rocha Law. Thank you.